Good evening, one and all. This is the big day that my 12 authors have been waiting for. And I'm just so excited to share this opportunity with everybody from all over the world, all over the country. You know, this was the weekend that I was supposed to be in London receiving an award, but COVID happened. But I could not ask for a second opportunity than to be with my authors on this week, honoring them for being courageous enough to share their story with the world. COVID happened. So the first author that we have opportunity is hold on, I want to be able to share my screen. So just give me a second. Enough to share their story with. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just 1 second, y'all. I want to be able to share it to Facebook. Well, I'm up here sharing it to Facebook. I just want to let you know that if you desire to be in our virtual, to be an author in our virtual tour, please send me an email at askdrmissy@gmail.com. And we will find out you can find all the details there. And I'm sharing it to Facebook. Should be on my Facebook page now. Let's see what's going on here. Mm-hmm. I'm getting everybody the link so they can share it to Facebook. Just give us a second. We have 12 different authors from all over the country. And we're starting out in Detroit. We're starting out in Wisconsin. And then we're going to go to DC. Then we're going to end up going to California. That's how we're going to end our tour. And I'm so excited about it. These ladies have definitely shared their story. There we are. Let me share it now to my Facebook page so you all can get in and see what's going on here. There we are. All righty. So now it's shared to my Facebook page. So if anybody wants to share it out to their friends or to their family, or even start a watch party, you can start it there. All righty now. Without further ado, number one, share. Number two, get you some Kleenex, because these are real people with real results that have courageous stories. And the first author that I'm going to be talking with you today is Miss Dr. Diana Brown. And let me just read her bio to you. Diana Brown, doesn't she look pretty?
Oh, thank you.
You look so pretty. Diana Brown, CHRS, BA/MBA, is a master life coach in life purpose and happiness, goal attainment, and coaching methodologies. After several life events, Dr. Diana saw the necessity of helping other people gain knowledge in their purpose in life and finding happiness through the storm. Dr. Diana volunteers at the Salvation Army Corps in many capacities. She won the Volunteer of the Year award in the Eastern Michigan Division for Exceptional Volunteerism in 2016. Dr. Diana has worked in the past in human resources as a superintendent and in a Tier 1 plant. Dr. Diana's problem-solving skills are beneficial in saving millions of dollars. Dr. Diana has raised 3 successful daughters as a single parent. 3 successful daughters as a single parent. You know, that's hard in these days. And will launch her coaching series, Talk with Dr. Diana, and How to Slay Your Goliath in early 2020, which is now late 2020 because of COVID. But guess what? It's okay because she's still here. I am just so excited to talk to Dr. Diana for this short time with all my authors tonight. But I just want to tell you a little bit about her story. And her story is called Get in the Boat by courageous woman author, Dr. Diana, which we are collectively also a #1 best-selling author. Don't forget that, because I work hard for that. We work hard for that. But when I read her story, I was just so moved by her story. A lot of these women that tell their story, they're telling you something that they never, ever shared before in their life. And they trusted me to know that I'm going to let them tell their authentic story. So Dr. Diana, can you give them a little bit about your story, a little bit about what your story is about, and then I'm going to have you to read just a little piece of your chapter, and then we're going to go from there. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready now.
Yes, my story is about a murder attempt on my life down near the Eastern Market at the Lafayette.
Wait a minute, you're going too fast. They need to understand what you just said. A murder attempt.
Yes.
So say that so they understand, because we're just not throwing stuff out there. They need to understand what happened to you, how you're so courageous.
Okay. Can I start with reading the first?
Absolutely. Yes.
Fear had me. I could feel it all through my body. My heart was racing. My eyes were big. My skin was sweaty. And I had no voice to shout out. What happened then, it was an icy, cold, blistery day. And I saw these 2 gentlemen look at me, nod their heads, split the street. And they came up on me, Dr. Missy. I couldn't run because the area was full of ice. And I noticed that they were gaining ground on me. I tried to scream, but I didn't have a voice. Like, I could not say anything. When they approached me and they got near me, they snatched my purse. It was 2 guys. One motioned for me to take my boots off, and I said I wouldn't. After several times of him asking me to and me refusing, he took a karate pose. And I thought he was going to hit me in my stomach, so I turned my head slightly to the right to kind of brace myself, and he tried to push my nose stem into my brain. It was so forceful and so painful that it broke my jaw on the right side.
Wow.
My lips were just not recognizable. My eyes were very bruised and swollen. Had I not moved my head
Yes.
to have, to brace for this blow, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now, Dr. Missy.
Wow.
But the thing that I want people to know in my story is that you could get through this.
Come on.
You could get through this. I talk in the story about Mark 4:35-41, about how Jesus calmed the storm. So I want everybody to read that. And it talks about the faith that his disciples have that they did not have. And they were scared and thought they were going to die. And they asked Jesus, they woke him up and told him to calm the storm. And he calmed it for them.
Yeah.
And then they had questions. So throughout this whole process of my book, I give you information of things that he actually calmed the storm for me that I didn't realize until after.
So what do you mean when you say, I hear this storm and everything, and this is courageous women find strength during the storm. So what do you mean about get in the boat?
Okay. As I said, faith grows daily. I had to gain that faith. Now, you may not have been almost murdered, but I want you to identify with the things that I went through and what I say in the story. When I got in the boat, I just so happened to have on my father's jacket that had an inside pocket.
Okay.
Put my keys in there. So I had a car at least. There were other things that God showed me. Just me turning my face
Okay.
so that my nose stem wouldn't go through my brain.
Yes.
I was sad when I thought about it because I would have never been able to see my girls again. And I'm getting choked up on that. I'm going to try to keep it for you.
Oh no, you're good. So let me ask you this: how long did you telling me the story? You let the world know your story. How much courage? Because I know we only got 15 minutes because we got another author coming. But when we talk about courage, and you talk about this boat, and you talk about coming out the storm, how long did you carry this?
I carried this for a good 15 years before I even spoke about it. You were actually the second person that I actually told my story to.
Wow.
Because I was ashamed.
Why?
I thought it was something that I did because I saw these guys a few other times. And I wanted no more than just to see them one day put on some stiletto heels, jump in their face and let them feel the pain and suffering.
Were you ever angry during those 15 years?
Yes, I went through the process of being angry, mad, just a lot of things. But in the ending of the book, to become a courageous woman who finds strength during the storm, I give you 3 examples of how you could get through this. Like I said, identify. You may not have been almost murdered.
Don't tell them everything because they got to get the book.
Yes, I'm not going to tell them, but I give you 3 steps that I went through to help me get out of the storm. And
those 3 steps over a period of 15 years. 3 steps. So you telling me it took you, I know it took more, but it was 3 steps that you took over a period of 15 years?
Yes, because I was terrified. Fear had me. Fear had me all those years until finally I woke up and say, wait a minute, you can't live your life like this.
Wow. Did your children know that? Because I know a lot of times as, we're courageous women, we're fearless women, we're mothers, and you're raising, your 3 daughters as a single mother. Did you ever felt like you failed them?
I did because my middle girl was with her aunt, so I never saw her that day at all.
Wow.
And it bothered me. It was my youngest daughter's birthday, and I couldn't go buy anything for her because of the condition that my face was in.
Wow.
So they knew something happened to me just by looking at me.
So you mean when that happened, you didn't tell them or anything?
Well, I couldn't talk because my jaw was broke.
Wow. Well, you know what? It's so much more that we can talk about, but I just want you to leave them on a high note because let me ask you this. Are you there now? Have you overcame? Are you courageous? Are you fearless?
I am fearless. I am a courageous woman that came through that storm. And I've talked to many other women to help them get through their storms. Yes, I am a courageous woman who found strength during her storm.
Wow. So I'm going to ask you one more question. And let me ask you this. How can women get in contact with you? And if they want to buy this book and read your portion of the book, how can they get in contact with you?
They can contact me through talkwithDr.Diana44@gmail. They can find me on Facebook as Zenola, Zenola 4444. and they can paypal.me/Dr. Diana Brown.
Yeah.
And I will just make sure to get the address because I'll give you free shipping.
And that's real stuff with all this postal mess going on.
Yes.
So one more thing. You're fearless. You're courageous. It took you 15 years, 3 steps. What is one step, just to remind the readers, what is one step that took you from the valley to the mountain to where you at to now you help women find their strength during the storm?
I had to find my joy. And that's why I decided to be a master life coach and specialize in finding joy. Because I had to find my joy to find me and what I wanted out of life and what made me happy. So that's the first thing I would say. You have to find your joy.
Well, that is Dr. Diana Brown. And she said her title, her chapter is Get in the Boat. She is fearless. She is courageous. She has found her strength during the storm. She helped other women to find their strength during their storm. And like she said in the beginning, it doesn't have to be, a attempted murder on your life. It could be anything, because she had to find her joy, to find her purpose, to find her zeal in life again. So in closing, Dr. Diana, tell women how working with me, how this experience has been with working, and should they make the investment?
Yes, I've known Dr. Missy for at least 30 some years.
Girl, you're telling my age. I'm only 30.
And working with you is an absolute delight.
Thank
you. Dr. Missy don't play no games.
No.
Everything is on time. Everything is as scheduled as she said, and she's just helped you through the way. I couldn't have did this without you. So it was a pleasure working with you, and you are a friend for life.
Oh, thank you. And what about the other fearless sisters? What about the community?
Oh my goodness. I've met all these women. I've talked with these women. I've been out to dinner with these women, and everybody is so supportive of each other.
Yeah.
It's like a sisterhood. We have a bond, a very special bond. And Beth keeps me in line. I have to say that.
Well, thank you for joining us on this Sunday night, August 16th, Detroit up in the house. So thank you, Dr. Diana. And we are going to go to our next author. So stay on, because we want to make sure we tell everybody goodbye.
Thank you.
I hope y'all enjoyed Dr. Diana. She is thebomb.com. She found her joy. She found her zeal. She found her zest. And she also couldn't do it without the Fearless Women Rock Sisterhood. And of course, your coach, Dr. Missy Johnson, because I don't play no games. And when I say that, it's because I'm very serious about what I do. I put my life, my breath, my DNA, my oxygen on my authors. So now, let's go to our next author, which is the beautiful Latanya. Hey, Latanya. Can you take yourself off mute? Okay. There you are. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to go to Latanya's. Latanya, do you have your bio in front of you? I'm going to read the bio from the book.
Yes, I do. I sent it to your email, but I also have it.
Well, you know what? I'm going to let me read your bio, and then you can add to it.
There are, one moment.
I'm going to read your bio, then I'm going to let you add to it. Let me just find your page in the book. Latanya, can you, which is called LT, we call it LT.
Can you hear me now? Okay, do you want me to read it? There are people saying that something is private. I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out. I don't know if it's your.
I see you. Can you see me?
Yes, I think it's the Facebook. No one can get on Facebook.
Let's funny because I'm on my Facebook. Is it on your page? You could share it on your page.
I tried. I think your page is private, so we have to unlock your page.
Okay,
maybe?
well, hold on. Let's see what's going on here. Because I see my Facebook page and I see it's up. So let's see. Well, while I'm doing that, go ahead and read your bio.
Okay. I will read my bio.
And tell them about your business.
My business is called Beautiful Sangria. It is a non-traditional sangria company. And I host interactive wine tastings and live pairings. They are called the experiences. So you will book an experience with Beautiful Sangria and LT. Host an event, birthday party, bridal shower, baby shower, whatever it is that you may have.
Well, go ahead and read your bio.
All right, I'm gonna start. Bio. LT was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan as LaTanya Grady. She is the oldest of 6 siblings. She holds an Associate's of Arts in Entrepreneurship with a concentration in Marketing. LT is an author, an entrepreneur, a coach, and a life changer. She will use her experiences to inspire and encourage others to do the same as she did at overcoming her past. Now free from suicidal thoughts, LT is free and ready to fly. She is the founder and CEO of Beautiful Sangria and has plans to make a name for herself in the wine industry with her company founded in Detroit, which specializes in non-traditional sangrias with distinct flavors. She has started a platform with her fearless sister, BLB, Beth Baker, called The Broken and the Beautiful, which will inspire beauty and strength after being broken. LT is currently working on her second book, which is titled Finally Free, Finally Me.
Absolutely. I'm looking at the page, and I just want to make sure that people are getting on. I'm having a little bit of Wi-Fi issues over here, but if they go to Break Free Coach, Dr. Missy. So if anybody's watching, if you go to Break Free Coach, Dr. Missy, it is on that page. So if they put in Break Free Coach, Dr. Missy Johnson, they will see it. It's what's happening is that my profile page Wi-Fi is acting like a little really slow right now. But if they go to Break Free Coach, Dr. Missy, it's streaming live on there right now, and there are no profile issues over there. So my apologies. My Wi-Fi is a little slow.
Break Free Coach, you said Dr. Missy?
Yes, Break Free Coach, Dr. Missy, and it's streaming live over there right now.
All right, for those who can't get on for whatever reason, go to Break Free Coach, Dr. Missy. Sorry about that. And you will be able to see
live, real time.
See us live, real time.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let me tell you a little bit about LT. LT is a beautiful young lady. I love her from the beginning. I was referred to her from one of our other authors, and when LT came aboard, I really kind of had all my authors. But when I talked, and I told her this, that when I talked to her, it was 11 o'clock at night, and I was with my husband, and he was getting some gas for me, and I talked to her, and my husband already pumped my gas, and I was in my car, and he was in his truck, and I was just talking, and he was waiting on me. He was like, "Who you talking to?" I was like, "I can't talk right now," because we were talking. Mm-hmm. And after I heard your story, because I interview all the authors, and because of that, I really felt in my spirit, LT, and you could correct. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm Miss Perfect, but I felt in my spirit that if you didn't tell it then, you wasn't going to tell the story.
You're right. I felt like it was time. It was actually time. You know, just for 30 plus years of carrying that burden, it was killing me on the inside, and I just couldn't do it any longer.
Wow. So thank you, Holy Ghost. I'm going to tell you the title of her story, and then I'm going to let her tell her story. But again, if you can't get onto my page, go to Break Free Coach, Dr. Missy Johnson, and there are no issues there, and you can get on and see everything in real time. You know, the devil is really, really busy because, you know, we were, we had a session before, and do you know that my Wi-Fi started acting really, really crazy? And y'all know I'm like, get this right, get this right, get this right. Y'all know how I act. Then I went back to go look at my Facebook Live. You know, I just keep stuff real. And my Wi-Fi was acting really, really crazy. So I had to switch everything up. But you know what? We are here because I will not be defeated. We will not be defeated. We will tell our stories because the world needs to hear all of our stories. So LT title is called The Butterfly with the Broken Wing. When I read her story and I talked to LT, I had no two stories in here are alike in this book. Let me say that. I'm very aware of that. No two stories are alike. And when I heard LT, well, you know what? I'm going to let her tell it. And I want you to go to a page in your book and read something from the book.
Okay.
And let the people know about your story. Because they ain't going to get it all. This is just a snippet. And what page can they find it on when they buy the book? Because they need to buy the book from you.
I'm on page 101.
Come on.
Yes. 101, The Butterfly with the Broken Wing. All right. I have to state that when the games began, I was very young, and I did not understand what was going on. In the beginning, I was taught how to please and satisfy. I was manipulated into believing the games we played were ones that all little girls played. This is my first time reading this again, so
it's okay. Look, I got you. My aunt got your virtual hug. I got you.
I was told that if I wanted to be a good little girl, I had to play these games. And these are the games that good little girls played, and they followed all the rules. Of course, I did not want to disappoint or be labeled as a bad girl, so I decided to be obedient. I wanted to be good at all times. I wanted to please and make my friend happy. After coming home from school, I would stay in the house to avoid seeing my friend. Once it got to the point where it didn't feel right and it was uncomfortable, I wanted to be left alone. And in order to achieve this, I had to figure something out. I started out by saying I was not feeling well. I didn't want to go outside to play. There were times I didn't even go outside with my siblings to play. After about a week, my friend came looking for me, wondering where I was and what had been going on with me. It was mandatory that I explain where I was and the reason behind it out of respect for our friendship. So I explained what was going on. I was sick for a while and I just needed to rest. That's all at the moment. It was from this point on that things became really difficult for me. The emotional roller coaster continued and my special bond shifted. My friend was very angry with me. When we got together, the games that we played were not the same. The energy was different. I wanted to ask if we could not play these games anymore. I did not like feeling special. It had become one of the worst feelings I had ever felt. And that's it for now.
I know the story.
Yeah.
Let me just get myself together real quick. I know the story. And I salute you. I salute you.
Thank you.
I knew that it had to get out.
Mm-hmm.
The butterfly with the broken wing. Can you tell them what that title means?
Yeah, the title, as I was growing up, I actually started writing when I was younger. I have a couple notebooks full of poems, and I used to pretend to be a butterfly. I was a butterfly, and I was always enamored with butterflies and the beauty of them and the freedom that they had. I used to want to fly away from everything that was happening.
That's deep.
But I could not leave because my wing was broken.
Say that again, because they need to hear, like church say amen. You need to say that part again. You used to fly away. You used to want to fly away?
I could not fly away because my wing was broken. And for years.
There we go with that years again.
I did not know or understand what to do. And now I have my wings.
Patti LaBelle.
Yes.
I'm so happy.
There's a song that I used to listen to over and over and over, and I would cry and cry and cry. And it's an India Ari song. And it's called, I cannot even remember the name of the song right this second, just because, but I know it word for word. And
what's some of the words?
One shot to your heart without breaking your skin. No one has the power to hurt you like your kin. The song is, I can't remember the name of the song right this second.
Okay. They get it. We get it. We get it.
It's one of the songs I listen to daily. And that song helped me. And one of mine said 15 years of holding pain. And when it got years, for me, it was 16 years, and then 17 years, and then 18 years, and then 25 years. And,
we only 25.
You know?
But wait a minute. When I met you, your amour is so different now. Because you were always beautiful. You're still beautiful.
I never felt it.
But I knew it was something that was on the inside. I just didn't know what.
Mm-hmm.
But the person that I met months ago is not the same person today. Is that true?
That is true. I used to hate who I was. I used to not want to be the person that I was. I used to pretend I was different or someone else. I wanted to be normal. So I just didn't want to be me. And then I realized at the point where I was able to forgive, I had to say, you know what? This is me. I am LaTanya. So I am LT.
Yeah.
So I am who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with who I am.
So you're no longer in the valley. And you talk about some practices and the things that you did in the book. So just give the audience one snippet of what you did for the 15, the 17, the 25 years that you carried this thing. Mm-hmm. What is one thing that you can give the audience? Don't give them everything, because they got to get your book and read the full spectrum. And this is only a snippet. That's not even the whole thing, but they'll get an idea. So what's the one thing that you can tell the audience?
You have to forgive. You have to forgive.
But is that easy to do?
No.
Because you said it really pretty. You have to forgive.
The hardest was forgiving myself. And you're
going too fast. The hardest was what?
Forgiving myself.
That's big.
For blaming myself, for not loving myself. That's the hardest. To now look in the mirror and see somebody worth something.
Yes.
That's the hardest.
Well, where are you now? Do you love yourself?
I love everything about myself.
Yes.
Finally free, finally me.
Yes. LT.
LT.
Yes.
Title to my second book.
Yes.
There's going to be a whole lot of things coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how can they get in contact with you and get your book so they can read your chapter?
You can get in contact with me. For those that know me, you can call me. But for people who don't know me, you can contact me either Facebook, Latanya M. Grady, or Instagram, I am LT. All of my contact information and email, that's located in my bio. And then you can also click the link in my bio to purchase the book. Or you can DM me, Facebook. I know not everyone has Instagram, so just reach out to me and get in touch with me. The best way you know how: Messenger, Facebook, text, call, Instagram call, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Video chat.
Well, I am just so elated, that you joined this journey with the Fearless Women Rock. Courageous Women Find Strength During the Storm, Volume 2. I am just so elated about that.
Thank you.
And just tell people how it was working with me and, being a part of this journey. And what would you recommend?
It was awesome. It was just awesome. Working with Dr. Missy was probably one of the best things that I could have ever done. It gave me a platform and it allowed me to start. You have to start. And
girl, you got a whole sermon. You got some sermons going on today, girl.
I'm, coaching, motivational speaker, all of that stuff coming up.
Yeah, I love it.
You have to start. You just have to start. And Dr. Missy provided that platform for me. Her yes allowed me to start. I did call her at 11:45 p.m. and she said, "Oh, I've already wrapped everything up, but what are you talking about? What's your story?"
At the gas station?"
And I told her, and she said, "Wow." And there was silence. And she said, "Okay, I'm gonna send you an email. Text me your information."
All righty. Well, thank you so much. I am about to go to our next author, and LT and Diana's out of Detroit, but we about to go some miles over. We're about to head over to Wisconsin. Okay. Thank you, LT. Wow, what do you think about that? You never know what somebody's going through. She said she didn't even feel beautiful or anything, but she feels beautiful and she's finally free. So let me head on over to down the street to Wisconsin.
Hello.
Hey, Geneva.
Hey, Dr. Missy.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Geneva. Geneva's out of Wisconsin, and she came to my Fearless Women Rock event. I know her from Adam. Is that the truth?
That's right.
I didn't know her, but because she has seen me, my consistency, my authenticity, her husband brought her over here. And from there, it's just been a beautiful experience. But I want to tell you something about this woman right here. Let me get a drink of water. Because I got to get a drink of water on you, girl.
Go on and get that drink.
Girl, I'm going to get that drink. Hold
Get that drink on.
When you look at Geneva, you're looking at a miracle. And I don't say that lightly. And we know about some miracles, okay? When Geneva came here to Detroit, she came here and the weather was good. And when she went back, they got caught up. I mean, I'm telling you thing after thing that happened. They got caught up in a snowstorm. Am I telling the truth?
Yeah.
Ice storm, snowstorm.
Sure did.
Did not know. My heart was beating because I just didn't know. She said, Dr. Missy, she said, "I think we're going to pull on the side of the road." Did y'all pull on the side of the road? Did y'all pull?
No, my husband, he weathered the storm.
He weathered the storm. Look, and that's what you did, weather the storm. I'm coming to you. And then as soon as she got home, her body was attacked in a way to snatch life up out of her. And I told our sisterhood, Fearless Women Rock, because we like a for real sisterhood. And when people tell me things, just so y'all know, people share things with me, just because we're a sisterhood, I don't go telling everybody business. I just say, pray for Geneva. Pray for Geneva. And I think that it looked like she had disappeared off the scene, but she didn't disappear off the scene. She was in the hospital for a long time, trying to survive. And not only did she survive, she's here today. So I'm gonna let Geneva, I'm gonna read her bio first about Geneva, and then she's gonna tell you her story. Dear God, I'm not ready to go. Surviving multiple myeloma cancer. So I'm going to read her bio. Straight up out of Wisconsin. And again, Break Free Coach, Dr. Missy. You can go over to that page and you can find that on my page. I'm just making sure. Make sure I'm not telling you no story. I know you can, I just want to make sure. But you can go to Break Free Coach. That's it. Dr. Missy, and it's right there on that page. So let me read about this phenomenal. She been fighting for a long time. Am I telling the truth?
Yes, I'm a fighter.
She's a fighter, and she's fearless. You know, I only deal with fearless people.
Fearless fighter.
Even when they kind of scared, when they kind of scared, I said, just come on over here. I got you. So let me read about Dr. Geneva. And she a beast too in real estate, just so y'all know. Just throwing that out there. Geneva M. Owens is currently a realtor at Milwaukee's Best Real Estate Services, Wisconsin. She has 9 years experience in the real estate industry. She is an entrepreneur and the founder of Gold Wings of Life Cancer Foundation, a 501c3 business. Geneva is ambitious and enthusiastic about showing up and making a difference in the lives of people in her community around the world. She has overcome many trials. This chapter is only one trial, but I'm saying many. And then she even have another trial. Just because we find strength during our storm don't mean that we ain't got no storms going on right now. But this is a benchmark. So when we go through a strong storm, we know we can come out. She has overcome many trials and understands how life can have a different plan for you. Mrs. Owens is the very heart of her business and strives to be resourceful and evoke feelings of love, joy, and hope for the people she serves. Geneva is a published author, a member of the National Association of Realtors, and a member of the Women's Investor Networking Group. And heart to heart, smell your roses now. Geneva Owens. I only gave y'all a snippet, but I'm going to let her tell her story, just a snippet. And if you want to tell your story first, or you want to read the part in your chapter first, either or is fine for me.
Well, I could tell a little bit of my story.
Okay.
Well, just like a lot of women and men, we, have goals. We are ambitious. We make plans of a future. And that's something that I did along with my husband. And one day, well, even before the day I found out, my body was going through many different illnesses. I would have one pain, and then the doctors would diagnose it as one thing, and then I would have another pain. And no one really knew what I was going through until I was admitted in the hospital and had to stay for about 3 weeks. And just was, needles, blood draws, just some of everything. They just used me as a specimen. And
where was your pain at?
I had pain in my back, my lower back, and they ended up saying that was sciatica. And then they ended up sending me to a chiropractor, and I went once and never went back, because that was a horrible experience when he would pop my back. And that wasn't even the case. And so I had neck spasms, I had back spasms.
They didn't know what it was.
No one knew what it was, and they would refer me to a pain specialist, and all that doctor was doing was giving me medication and never was curing whatever it was.
So when did they discover that you had? Well, you know what? Go to the part of your book first.
Okay. I will never forget. I had been admitted into the hospital and was waiting for lunch. I happened to glance at the clock on the wall and could not move, nothing except my eyes. My body was frozen. One of my favorite nurses, Stevie, came in the room, saw my posture, and asked me twice to look at her. I told her, Stevie, I can't move. She ran out of the room screaming, something's wrong with Geneva. She's yelling at down. She just yelling at loud. And it started with the doctor's full body, then gradually leading up to his waist. He was disappearing. Then from his waist to his chest, disappeared. After that, his neck and head disappeared. I was in total darkness. I was losing my vision, going blind. Actually went blind. This shocked the staff. I couldn't tell you what their faces looked like, but I could hear it in their voices. The doctor assured me they would figure out what was happening. I talked to God and asked him not to let me be permanently blind. Suddenly, tiny Christmas bulbs appeared, flickering as though God was telling me he heard my voice and I was not alone. I believed God and remained calm. Most of the day had gone by, and after many doctors had come to check on me, my vision began to slowly reappear, the opposite from how it had disappeared. I was told that I'd had a mini stroke and my blood pressure was off the charts high. I thank God for his mercy.
Wow. Thank God for his mercy.
Thank God for his mercy.
But I just want to add one thing that's on page 80 that caught my attention when I was reading your story. And it says, again, I said, dear God, I'm ready to go. Why were you ready to go?
Because
Oh man, are you a Christian?
Yes, I'm a woman of God.
And you are ready to go.
I was ready to go. I was ready to go. The pain, all that I had been through, and this is again just a snippet of me going blind. There were many things that I had gone through. And even during that time when I went blind, I was calm. I didn't panic. I was surprised I didn't panic. But I remained calm. I knew God was there at that time, and He was with me. And
so what would you say? Because I know somebody that has melanoma,
multiple myeloma.
So what would you say to a woman or a man that's thinking like you said, dear God, I'm ready to go? What would you say to them? And I know that you give some practices, some things that you did in the book, where you become courageous, for you become fearless, and for you not to be nervous. But what would you say to them?
I would say,
I mean, in addition to that, you had an episode when you left Detroit.
I
What
would
was
s-
it like?
I would say at that moment you do think that you're not strong enough to handle what you're going through. And I would say that you are important, you matter, and it's only temporary. You think that it's permanent, that it'll never end, but you have an assignment.
Come on.
You have an assignment. And what I learned was that the reason why I went through what I went through, everything that I went through, was because God was preparing me to help others get through that pain, get through that storm. He had me experience it all
Mm-hmm.
so that we can have something that I relate to you,
Yeah.
because you're going through something that you feel that you can't make it out of. So he had me experience all of that
Mm-hmm.
so that I have a testimony to tell the next sister, the next brother,
Come
that
on.
they can make it, that God is preparing them to use them to help someone else live.
So out of everything, like I said, this is just a snippet of your bigger book and bigger things that you're doing with your Cancer Foundation and everything. And I can answer this question myself, but I'm gonna ask it to you. Even though you said, "Dear God, I'm ready to go," but now you know it's to help others. Do you get tired on the journey?
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
do
do.
get tired. Yes, you do. But now I know, after everything that I went through, there's nothing. There's nothing that will compare to this that I can't make it through.
Come on.
If
Come
I
on.
beat cancer, I could beat anything.
Anything. Anything.
Anything. Anything.
I remember talking to you in the hospital, after we ain't talked for, I would probably say like 6 weeks. And I called you. Of course, I didn't tell him. I would say pray for Geneva to the sisterhood, and they
Mm-hmm.
and they pray.
Yeah,
They
they
they pray about
did.
that pray. And I remember you said, Dr. Missy, I am so tired of being in the hospital.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I can relate.
Yes, you can.
But even with that, this journey is not for you. It's for somebody else. You said,
Yes. Yep.
wow.
It's
So
not about me, it's bigger than me.
So that is that the one thing? Because I know you talk about some practices, some things that you did in the
Mm-hmm.
book.
Yes.
So is that the one thing that you would tell somebody that's going through a health challenge, cancer, or anything? What's the one thing that you want them to take away from you that can help them?
That I'm an overcomer, and that the only way that I survived this is because of God. You have to pray.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stay in prayer
Okay.
and believe and have faith that God loves you and that He's using you. He's using you. You have a mission that only you can fulfill. He
Yes.
gave that to you.
Yes.
And to just have faith and know that you're going to be okay.
And I know there's more because I have the book. How can I get it? I know there's more, but because we're going to go to our last author of the evening, but how can they get in contact with you in Wisconsin and buy your book and read more about your story?
You can contact me. In my book, I have my email, and
But what if they don't have your book? How they
well,
contact with you?
I guess I can give the email out. You can contact me. Well, you can contact me, Geneva Owens GENEV as in Victor A, OWENS at gmail.com. And to get my book, you can, I'll give you my PayPal.
Yes.
It's paypal.me/Geneva, GENEVA book.
Amazing. Amazing.
And
And
one
what you
more,
said about this, as we close
one
out,
more way too, Dr. Missy.
you said what, ma'am?
I said they can get the book through Cash App too.
Oh yeah, tell me your cash out.
Yeah, my Cash App is the $ Love Gold Wings.
Amazing. Love $ Love Gold Wings.
Yep, LOVEGOLDWINGS.
Amazing. And what has your experience been like working with me?
Oh, well, my experience with you has been wonderful. It's just been so inspiring. You are one inspiring woman.
Oh,
You helped during the whole process. You've cried with me. You've educated me on it. You've been there through the whole experience.
and the sisterhood has been with you
And
too.
yeah, the sisterhood. I mean, it's just like you really love us.
I do.
You love the women that you work with.
I do. I do.
And I really appreciate you.
Well, we still have more work to do, and I just want to thank you for being a part of Volume 2. And we're going to head on out to our last author of this evening, but they're going to play, so I'll make sure everybody say goodbye to everybody. You know, it's been amazing, amazing, amazing. And we have one more author, and I think this is a way to close it out. You know, I just want to say thank you to this young lady. She is totally amazing. Sometimes you gotta have people keep you on your toes, okay? Wait a minute. Well, let me bring her up first. Hold on. Sometimes you gotta unmute yourself. Sometimes you gotta have people keep you on your toes, and she keeps me on my toes, but we do it in love, ain't no respect to person, ain't no craziness, she's just that kind of person. But I'm gonna read you her bio, and I just want to say thank you for everybody, but we're gonna close out with her, but we're gonna let all the authors say hi. Also, technical difficulties, whatever, but you can go to Break Free Coach, Dr. Missy. On the page, it's live. This is my first look. I done had this system for a year. Then gave them my money. I keep stuff real. I had it for a year. I ain't used these people, and I said everything I got, everything I done paid for. Y'all gonna see me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, the TV, the radio. I'm going all the places, okay? Because life is not promised to you. Live your best life now. Do it now. There ain't nobody never thought we was gonna have no black president. I ain't gonna tell you what kind of president we got now. And then on top of all that, didn't nobody even think we would have COVID-19 where the world would be shut down, the churches be shut down. It's almost like the days of Noah. So you better get whatever you're going to get, do whatever you're going to do, live in your dreams, your goals, and your vision. They talked about Jesus. They're going to talk about you. It's okay. It's over. It's really okay. But I have my little 2 minutes. But I'm going to read you the bio here, okay? Now you're going to have to help me. Beth.
That's
okay. Beth Lynette Baker is currently, I got some real folks on my team, okay? Beth Lynette Baker is currently the chief of the Veterans Community Resource and Referral Center through the Department of Veteran Affairs in Detroit. Beth has worked for the past 17 years in the federal service. She has been raised in a nurturing and Christian environment all of her life by her God-fearing and praying parents, and also being the daughter of a pastor, so she's a PK kid, Ronnie Dewitt. She believes that Jesus' mandate to love the Lord with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to the end, she has exercised her mind in academic excellency by graduating from Central Michigan University with a Bachelor of Science degree in Child Development, and has graduated with a Master's of Social Work degree from Wayne State University. Beth is currently in Cornell University obtaining a Women in Leadership certificate. Beth loves to expound on biblical principles. She does, because she got, do you teach it does, or do I got it backwards?
You got it right. Deity to does.
Okay. You teach it does. I added that. On Wednesdays, sharing how God met her in the valley experience, which we're about to get to, okay? And helped her to regain a mountaintop view. Beth's message, God is faithful. Beth has both passion and purpose in ministering to the body of Christ by exercising her God-given talents and gifts to Christ's exhortation and the edifications of the saints. I feel like I need to pass an offering plate. I really, really do. But I am just so excited about this young lady right here. And the title of her chapter is Love, Honor, and Cherish. And she is a #1 best-selling author, like all my authors are. She's in volume 2. And, oh, Lord, I hear my husband coming in with the Corvette. I got to let him know. Shh. Because I don't want him interrupting my broadcast. But I'm just going to let Beth take it from here, because I'm gonna ask the questions, but Beth, for you all to really, really understand it, Beth, just go ahead and take it away. Love, honor, and cherish. Give them a snippet, give them the drama girl, and then we're going to come back to it.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to say thank you, Dr. Missy. Thank God for just the opportunity to just be able to share. This is not easy to share pain, but certainly God has given us purpose, not just myself, but he has afforded purpose for each and every one of us authors, including yourself. So I just would be remiss to not come on here and thank God for that platform and the opportunity to, again, use this Courageous Women Find Strength During the Storm as a vehicle to edify people, to minister to people, and that God gets the glory through all of it. So I don't do this for pity. I don't do this for any type of attention that I am seeking. It's not an attention-seeking behavior. It's painful to go through some things that I have experienced. And so one of the things that, I guess the irony of my story, if you will, is that I, like you read in my bio, I have worked in the homeless program through the Department of Veterans Affairs since 2005, but particularly I'm a director over a one-stop service center that services veterans who are homeless and at risk of becoming homeless. So certainly being at the helm of that institution and at the helm of the facility that I am the chief over, I know the nuances, the ins and outs, the policies, the procedures in terms of keeping our veterans housed. And so when you have experienced a situation where I've experienced an eviction, it's very painful to talk about it sometimes, but I'm at a place where God has strengthened me, he has healed me, and he has delivered me. And so I am just grateful. I have I've always had a great respect for his people, God's people. But certainly this experience has humbled me in a way that you should never say never. You should never say what you won't do. You should never say what you cannot do. But by the grace of God, he has restored me. And so unfortunately, in 2008, I experienced my spouse left, my housing situation fell apart, I was evicted. And so I'll read to you just a snippet of the book, of my chapter, so you can kind of get a feel a little bit, walk just a few moments in my shoes. I pray, God, you've never experienced this type of pain. Certainly, if you've been evicted or you've been a victim of homelessness, you can certainly relate. And I'm very sensitive to this. It's not to parade this. It's not to broadcast this in a way that we're getting glitz and glory from this, but it's certainly to give God the glory, because I'm truly, I will stay on here for the rest of my days, spreading the good news that God is faithful.
He is
even unto death. And so I just want to share with you so you can kind of get an idea of some of the pain that I endured, and just to take you back to that day, February the 5th.
Before you say that, what I want to say, because you're only getting a snippet of it, but I want the audience to know, you know, because people be thinking in like different things. This, what she's about to read, this used to be a Cinderella experience. Yeah. It used to, when I say Cinderella, she done got the prince. It ain't no longer a pumpkin to turn to the bucket. It's a real life thing.
Absolutely.
So put in your mind, Cinderella. Take it away, Beth.
Okay. Eviction was inevitable. My attention was immediately drawn to the bedroom window as I could see movement in the backyard. As I approached the bay window in the master bedroom, I looked out. I saw the contents of my house being escorted by 3 unfamiliar Caucasian men. When I say contents, I am referring to my actual household furniture, including couches, bookcases, dishes, and appliances being moved out onto the lawn in the middle of winter in Michigan. Are my valuable possessions really sitting in the wet snow? Are the entire contents of my house really sitting outside, unboxed and unpacked? Unless you consider household dishes and cutlery wrapped in bath towels and washcloths as packed, then I guess the answer was yes. All of my stuff was outside. In truth, I literally thought I was losing my mind. I immediately began screaming as though I was being stabbed and crying so profusely as it was just beginning to dawn on me that I was being evicted from my home. I made a quick decision to reach out to my sister Beanie. Being sensitive that she had just begun a new job a few days prior and not wanting to disturb her, I texted her. Wow, what a message to receive via text. And the text read, "Sister, I need your help. We're being evicted." She immediately responded to my text, "Lord, have mercy." And so that's just a portion of my story. You know, working in the field of mental health, being a clinical therapist by profession and a social worker by discipline, you know, we see a lot of people who have suffered from the mind being sick, the mind being tired, the mind have growing weary. And a lot of times, you know, unfortunately, we as humans, we joke lightly. We use words like, "Oh, I thought I was losing it," or "I was going crazy." You know, we have to be very mindful of those, because in essence, people truly lose their mind. People truly snap. They lose it.
And you feel it because you work with the veterans.
Absolutely. And so I saw it firsthand, but truly being in a situation where, again, you're seeing literally your household items, not so much the tangible things, although they were, it's what they represent, the stability, the housing, the home that you created.
But let me ask you, what were they doing with them?
They were putting them outside because we were being evicted. So they were literally using my snowblower to move the snow, because it was a fresh snow that had fell about 2 days prior. They were literally moving the snow to put the content of my house outside. They were polite about it.
But who was being evicted?
Pardon me?
Who was being evicted?
Oh, I was being evicted. My spouse at the time was being evicted. My dog was being evicted.
So you, your spouse, and your dog.
Yes.
In your brand new house.
Yes. And I was recently married. And so
how recent?
I was married. I had just been married a little under 2 years prior.
Okay.
So still fairly new to the game of marriage and that kind of relationship as such. But the pain behind not knowing, it was the not knowing. And if you know, if you've experienced any type of eviction or housing crisis, typically the courts always by law have to give you 30 days. They don't just put you out. They give you a notice. They give you
time to get out.
Yes, they give you
right.
They give you ample warning. Unfortunately, I didn't get that. I overslept the day it happened. And so you'll have to get the book to kind of read further. But I was blindsided by that. I thought it was an Amazon delivery or a FedEx person at the door. Clearly it was not. It was 3 Oakland County sheriffs in plain clothes coming to put me out. And so that's exactly what happened.
So let me pull this piece together, what you're saying. So you're seeing your things being put in the snow.
Yes.
After being married for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And the title of your spouse. So now is your spouse, your dog. What was your dog name?
Boomer.
Boomer.
Little Bichon Shih Tzu. Boomer. About 11 pounds.
And being evicted. But the title of your chapter, well, like I said, it's only a snippet, is Love, Honor, and Cherish. You got to help me understand, because when somebody's put my stuff out and me and Boomer is gone and my stuff is in the snow, I feel Detroit ghetto is going to come up out of me.
Yeah.
So I need to understand. I need for you to pull this together. When you say love, honor, and cherish, I need you to pull that together for the audience.
Sure. No, and that's very real from your human standpoint. Yeah, you're for me personally in that moment, I was extremely numb. So I couldn't love, honor, and cherish in that moment. This book was written obviously after I had a chance to heal and step away from it, and I'm still healing by God's grace. I'm on the other side of it, and I've been delivered from it, and I'm able to write and share with you all tonight. But the love, honor, and cherish comes in from loving myself. My parents taught me always to love God, love yourself, know whose you are. I'm God's child, and I'm Benjamin and Carol Baker's daughter, so I know who I am. So I always had the core of my being was intact. My emotions were bruised. My feelings were badly hurt. My heart was broken, but my spirit was intact. So I knew to love myself. I knew to love God. I knew to cherish his people. I know that there aren't all bad people in the world. I knew even those men that were coming.
Was love compromised for you during this time?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
Was love compromised for you during this time? Because that's a lot.
No, it wasn't, because I knew why I went into the relationship. I went in full well knowing to love. I went in for it to be forever. I went in. I have parents who've been married for almost 50 years now, so I've seen the image of marriage and what a healthy relationship looks like, and so I was trying to emulate that from who I am. I can't speak for the other person, but certainly when you have any type of deception or any type of something that's hidden or not brought to the surface, you're going to have a crack in your foundation. And unfortunately, I didn't know it, but there was a crack in my foundation. And so eventually, whether it was 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, it was going to crumble. And it crumbled a little bit sooner than what I had ever imagined. I never thought it was going to crumble at all, because I couldn't see that there was a crack. And so anytime you have a crack in your foundation, it is going to crack, and that's exactly what happened. And so again, and it's not to bash my spouse. It's not to, I pray God for the very best for him and whatever he's doing with his life. And we all have to move on. And like some of my other authors have shared tonight, we have to forgive. And I have forgiven.
So let me ask you that. So we're talking about forgiveness, and you talked about some practices, some principles, some things that you did.
Sure.
But that they did. But what is one thing that you can share with the audience about when somebody has evicted you? And sometimes it doesn't have to be a marriage. It could be a friendship,
Sure.
It could be you could have been evicted from your job per se.
Sure.
When somebody is going through that, and you said that you've seen love through your parents. But what about people, and I don't know if you can even answer this, I believe that you can, but what about people who don't have a benchmark or a role model? You deal with veterans. I'm sure that you see a lot. What can you offer our audience? Again, you can get this book. Beth's going to tell you how to get it, but it's so much, this stuff is juicy, but what is it that you can share with the audience? One thing that you can help them with.
So one of the main things I must leave you with tonight, if I don't tell you anything, I'm going to tell you that no matter who you're around, no matter if you're married or single, you're divorced, separated, you're thinking about getting married or not, always know. That's why this is my quest to fulfill my divine assignment, that God loves you no matter what your marital status is, no matter what your financial, economical status is. I know a lot of times, and we're human, so we look for the other person to validate us and to compliment us, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, one of the things I want to leave with this audience tonight, and I'm talking to the world, and I'm grateful for the platform, but that God loves you. God loved, he gave his son for you. So I knew that I was loved. I was hurt. I was disappointed. I was rejected, but so was God. So I knew the essence of me. So I'm going to leave you all tonight to say, no matter what storm you're facing, I've shared this scripture. It is something that my dad has given me through the word of God. He shared with me, and some of my quiet brokenness, if you will, was Isaiah 43:2. That scripture has been my mantra. Isaiah 43:2, and it says, when the waters are deep, I will be with you. When the floods rise, I will be with you. When the fire gets so blazing, I will be with you. And so, yes, you have to ask questions. I go on and give you some more finite examples in the book in terms of what you need to do from a civil standpoint. You need to ask the person questions. You need to look at documents. You need to really have relationships with both sides of families. You need to get to know people. And honestly, I did all of that. You know what? I did all of that. But but here in my situation, you have to be truthful. I went in, I knew what I had. You have to be truthful. And so if you can be truthful in all things, if you have a hidden scar and you're dating somebody that you don't want to know, well, eventually it's going to come out. I'm just using that as an example. So tell the truth, but tell the truth in love. Always act in love and act in a spirit of a Christ-like attitude. And so that's why it's important, if you don't know the Lord, to get to know him yourself. And it's my mission, as well as the mission of some of our other authors and this book, is to, invite you to Christ. Because at the end of the day, all of this is going to pass away. We will pass away. And when God calls me home, I will live no more, but his word is going to stand. So my purpose is being fulfilled. I pray that God is pleased and that he is edified and you, his people, are encouraged, because I truly know that I am fulfilling my divine assignment. And this Courageous Women Finding Strength During the Storm, the second volume, has given me just another vehicle to just use to drive the message home. So love yourself. Love God first. Love God.
You said, so what I'm taking away to the audience as we're closing out is that God is love.
Yes.
Please know that.
Please know that.
And to be truthful to whoever the person or the situation is.
Yes.
You might not like the outcome or the results or whatever it may be.
Sure.
But be truthful, because eventually, in the Bible even speaks about that the truth will come. Well,
it'll set you free. I don't look over my shoulder. I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't have to flip under something and try to figure something out. This is who I am. This is who I am. This is all me. And if we want to enhance things, that's fine. If I'm dating you and I want to add hair to me, that's fine. But for example, this is me.
Well,
this is all my hair.
I want to add some hair too, but
that's okay.
I'm having a situation here.
That's okay.
But we're gonna figure that out. But I just want to say that it's been an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to work with you and for all the ladies, and just tell them how they can get your book, how they can get in contact with you.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love the opportunity for you all to reach me and follow up with me. If you certainly want to get a copy of the book, please go to my website. I'll give you the web address. It's www.blbblessed.com. That's www.blbblessed.com. And you can go to my homepage and click on the purchase book tab. That way you can get, I'll send out you an autographed copy and get that within 7 to 10 days. I'll get that to you. I also want to note on there, I have other services that I provide. And so, like I said, I'm a clinical therapist, and I have several clients now that I'm working with providing grief counseling. Individual and marital counseling is something that I offer, as well as life coaching. And so if you have any need of those, go on my website. You can certainly, you will be able to put in an inquiry, and I will follow up with a consultation and be more than happy and work out different fees. I'm not in this for profitable gain.
Right.
We have to generate funds in order to put back into our ministry and into our platforms. But I'm truly here to serve you. This is out of my own pain. There's no way in the world I'd be here tonight if I didn't experience what I experienced. And so by God's grace, I'm fulfilling the purpose in my pain. I asked God to do that, and he's doing just that. And so, Dr. Missy, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to work with you and my other fearless sisters.
And would you recommend people working with me? Because they know I don't play no games.
Yeah, I would. One of the things I would really want to highlight too is, yes, I would definitely encourage people to reach out to you if that's something that they want to do, to tell their story and to expose themselves. But one of the things I would say is to be truthful to yourself. Get the help that you need before you reach out. You will know to the degree of your own healing. That's not something even Dr. Missy can help you with. She can guide you once you cross that threshold. But you have to have that quiet time with God to be healed and to be
That's right.
just be loved on.
You have to be, authentic is
Yes.
what, when you come to the table, when you come to me, is that, a lot of people come to me. Some people that I work with, like talking about the book. Some people say, I want to write the book. Mm-hmm. I overcome this, but after talking to them, they're still in it. Right. So if you are still in it, then it's not the place for you, because Correct. You still need to be healed. But if you overcome something, sometimes we overcome things and we don't even know that we overcome it, and we just have to have somebody to walk us through the process. So that's what I do, as well as walk through the process. So I'm just so elated. I'm gonna bring all the ladies back on so we can say good evening.
Hey.
There they are. So in closing for this evening, I know that we ran a little bit over. I know we had some technical issues, but you know me, I'm going to keep it going. And I just want to say thank you to Beth, Dr. Diana, Geneva, LT. Thank you all for being a part of Fearless Women Rock, Courageous Women Find Strength During the Storm Volume 2. We have our sister Arnisa, who was supposed to be on with us this evening, but she would be on us with the DC tour. So, because everybody's going to get their opportunity to speak and tell what they do. Continue to be fearless, continue to be courageous, and continue to find your strength during the storm. And again, if you want to participate in Volume 3, I welcome the opportunity for you to participate in Volume 3. Please send me an email at askdrmissy@gmail.com, askdrmissy@gmail.com. And again, if you just need somebody to walk you through the process of you being, if you think you overcome, let me talk to you, because maybe you may be still in it. But if you know you overcome something and you want to tell your authentic story, please DM me, send me an email, askdrmissy@gmail.com, askdrmissy.com, or you can just send me a Facebook message, and I will love to have a chat with you. Again, this is August the 16th, tour stop, Detroit, Wisconsin. I will see you same time next week, 7:00 p.m. in DC, virtual book tour DC. Love you all and have a great evening. Goodbye.